2, 1. Good evening, Adam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, the afternoon and the evening is much better than in other countries, yes?
Yes, right now I would say so.
How are your things, Adam?
Good, good. I actually, for later on the show, I went through a list of some good available and some good deleting names. We can get to that later, but things with me
Absolutely.
are good. No complaints. All good.
New shirt?
No, I took it to the cleaners. After 2.5 years of COVID and not wearing dress shirts, I went to the cleaners and I thought I was going to take in about 20, but I ended up bringing in about 50. So I brought in 50 shirts to get clean because I figured they needed it, and I realized at that point that I have a lot of shirts.
Oh, very, very nice shirt.
Thank you.
These days, not too many men wear shirts anymore.
No, well, in my dad's day, they all wore suits and stuff, and then it
Yes.
got to business casual, where it's just a dress shirt, and now people are lucky if they show up in their sweatpants or something. Who knows?
Okay, we can say good evening, everybody. Of course, Bill, Digital Master. Hello, sir. Can I start with one interesting question, please?
Sure.
I will show you a screen, and so if you could tell our viewers what is ICANN, just before we proceed.
So this is an interesting topic. So ICANN is the governing body that was originally set up to govern all over the internet as far as .com, .net, and .org. So they were and are the governing body that lists the accredited registrars, and they're quite well known by domainers anyway.
Okay, and then they have a list of accredited registrars.
Yeah.
And I did download the whole page, and there were like 48 of them only.
It says 74. That's weird.
Well, there are many network solutions ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is customer service at Network Solutions, as these were one of the first ones I did approach when informing about the Domain Summit.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch also that buy registrars and call them different names just to get the 2 threads for the drops. So a lot of them have multiple. There's multiples even in Canada. We have a lot that have multiples. They've bought and paid for like 10 or 15 registrars so they could get more chances of catching the drop names.
So, and is that the case that if they say 74, that in the essence there are only 74 registrars?
I mean, that seems like a very low number to me, but
absolutely.
For a while, there were multiple companies that were calling themselves registrars that were resellers of like enom or things like that as well. I mean, even all the Wild West resellers are just resellers of GoDaddy, and GoDaddy's a registrar. But there's lots of companies that call themselves registrars, but probably aren't direct.
Okay, that's interesting.
One of the largest ones is Logic Boxes. They based in India, and they have a ton of resellers that are under them, but you wouldn't know it to use them. Even some companies just pay for their back-end access. Like there's a company in Canada called namespro.ca, NAMESPRO.ca. They seem to use the Logic Boxes back-end, and a lot of other registrars, even though they are accredited in Canada, they use the back-end of Logic Boxes because they didn't want to write their own. So I think it's a lot of the backends from some of them will look similar. And it's either because they're not registrars or they're actually resellers of other ones.
Yes, there is. The company is called Go Full House LLC, and they are till the admin at Logic Boxes. Probably that's the one. India.
Yeah. Yeah, I was around when they started that company, so it was the 2 brothers that started the company. I forget the names, but I've seen them and met them at many shows.
Not bad. How has been your last week? Any sales? Any purchases? Interesting ones?
No, I'd say nothing really to speak of. I can say that I had one sale that got canceled. I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not sure, but the guy came through Dan, and he was ready to pay for crypto marketer, and then he said he needed 2 weeks to pay, and they said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, might as well put it back on the market, because I was negotiating with 4 other people at the same time, and I said, if one of them comes through first while he's traveling, then I don't care. But they thought it was ridiculous that he said he wanted it and would pay for it, and said he needs at least a couple of weeks. So
Okay, then let him wait.
yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Thank you for sending in those dropping UK names, .code UK names.
Yeah,
Maybe you could share them. I'm not buying those ones, but the names are really good.
yeah, those were from today. So the only reason I sent them to you, well, not the only reason, is that I didn't have time to get them on the show, because I don't know what time the UK drop is. But the 2 that I shared with you earlier today were stolenidentity.co.uk and roadmaps.co.uk. Roadmaps not meaning like road maps like it's in street maps to me, but it could to some people. To me, it meant like a product roadmap or some sort of roadmap that would be more business-like than a company roadmap.
Okay. Trachea brothers.
Yeah, Terrakias. That's who the brothers are. Bavin, it was one of them, and I forget the other ones, but they're both quite famous for starting logic boxes, and they started a parking company. They were in the domains back in the beginning, and they took a good direction with doing a reseller program for registrars. They have lots of them, and the interface is really good. It's as good or better than GoDaddy's reseller package.
Okay, and good evening, good afternoon, everybody. If you wherever you are watching from, this is your chance to ask your questions to a professional domain name investor, Adam Dicker from Canada, and of course we'll put them on the screen, and he will either evaluate your domain name or will answer your question. Adam, what do you think? There was a domain sale sold at Uniregistry at that standard price, Uniregistry standard price, $50,000, Germany.tv.
So, I mean, TV was popular back when it first came out. Personally, listen, if you're a TV station or you want to start up an online TV station or a streaming service in Germany, it's obviously a great brand. Me personally, I don't think I'd see myself spending $50,000 US on Germany.tv. But, I mean, great deal for the seller, probably a good deal for the buyer. One thing I did do this week that was interesting was I took a look back down memory lane at about, I don't know, 10 or 20 domains that I sold, and found out that most of them are either for sale now on parking pages, and very few of the businesses that paid a lot of money for them survived. So I did the one last week, I think I told you about download.net, and I looked at that one, and then I decided, okay, well, let's check on a bunch of others. And the only one that's seals.com is still the company that bought it from me originally, seals.com. They do like water seals or pipe seals or something like that.
Oh, okay. So sealants.
Most of the other ones are they're defunct. Even though some of the little ones that I sold and some of the big ones are just they're not doing much. Even I think forums.com may forward off to something else, but at least they're using the traffic. But there was a lot that I checked, and I was surprised. Even simple things like jerks.com, which is I made good money on. It's a for sale page. It's I may take a look at some of these again. The one thing I did notice was that the acronyms.com and the phrases.com is both owned by the same guy, which I sold them to 2 different guys. So at one point they must have reached out to each other. So that was good. But things like bodylanguage.com that I sold, it's something I always liked. So that one may pique my attention to build up a good site on it. But
and this is for sale again.
Yeah,
bodylanguage.com.
It is, yeah. Yeah. And obviously I know what I sold it for, and I think that the prices that people are asking for these names now are less than I sold them for, which tells you, I guess, a 15-year sloping trend that eventually you can buy your stuff back for cheaper, but it's not always the case. But it was interesting to see.
Okay, and do you want to buy it? Would you like to buy it?
Body language? Yeah, I probably would. Again, the financial position that I'm in today is much better than I was starting out. So when you sell something for 30 or 35 or 40, and you're barely starting out, that's a lot of money. When you've made $1 million sales, it's a nice way to get it back for a little bit less and see how it goes. Because I still believe in domain names. I just believe that a lot of times businesses that lay out money, some of them will succeed, but most of them, like any other business idea, probably won't succeed. So it's interesting. I'm going to end up making a whole list of some of them and see which ones, and I can just go into my escrow.com account and see which ones I sold. Even marriage.com was for sale again, and it's amazing to see some of the ones that are still for sale. So just interesting.
So hello Hindi, and I've got two more names, and one is .NET DV. So Delta Victor .NET sold at CEDO, 25,000. Well, $24,900.
So I think that's a reasonable price for a two-letter .NET. I think that's very reasonable. Probably, I would say cheaper. The buyer got a good deal on it. I think that's a pretty good deal for a .NET because people do know. They may not know .guru or .lawyer or .website, but they definitely know. Some of them know .NET. So I think that's a good deal for $24,000.
Yes. Okay. Well, what about .us? So in the top list of DN Journal, drive.us, is that a real sale or not? 99,999 sold at Afternic.
You know, it could be. I don't really know.
Drive.us.
I mean, I wouldn't buy it for 99,000. I wouldn't buy it for 9,900. So it's hard to say. But Afternic reported it. It's probably real, but they don't know if the buyer and the seller are the same person or different people. So, or family members just promoting it. I don't know what the point is of promoting a .us.
But even if they did that, they would need to pay a huge commission. The commission is huge.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's just advertising. You're paying for your own advertising. So I don't think they would do that for that. I mean, you're talking 20%. You're talking almost $20,000 for advertising. And I don't think it's going to fire up the .us market like all the XYZ sales. So who knows?
And then at the same time at GoDaddy, 5-letter Vales, not with W, with V Victor. Victor Alpha Lima, Echo Sierra, Vales.
That's interesting.
And it was sold for $4,138.
That's pretty cheap for a pronounceable 5-letter name. The problem with that is, though, most companies that will call themselves that will be Vale, V-A-L-E, and the S won't be applicable, but it's still a good sounding name for any brand. And what I would typically do with that is go check and see in Google who calls themselves Vales, what purpose there was. It sounds like it was sold too low because it's a really good pronounceable name that does pass the radio test. So I would think
there should be companies that contain that name globally.
Oh,
there should be
Vale
many,
for sure
many,
there is. For sure.
many
V-A-L-E. I don't know about the S though, but V-A-L-E. For sure, there's going to be lots of companies. I mean, there's even a Vale.com is Canada. It's a big company. So there's a financial company called Vale as well. There's a lot of them. So I would say that there's a lot of Vale. There's definitely not as many Vales, but there's a lot of Vale.
Valeside, Valeska, Valespe. Yeah. Yes.
It's harder to find Vales than Vale.
And then at GoDaddy.
It could be something in like the Netherlands, though. It could be a company like Valis or something. We don't know what it is. And then they got a heck of a deal, so I'm not sure about that.
I think that was a great buy.
I think it was a better buy than a sale, but
you
never know. Somebody needs $4,000. It's a good sale to them, so power to them. Starlink Ukraine. Well, I love the Ukraine. I'm just not sure Starlink is good at the moment. Yeah. So it probably is trademark, but I'm just going to see what I can find under it. Yeah, it's definitely trademarked. More Starlinks coming soon. So yeah, not a name I would want to hold and keep.
And what could you tell actually about trademarked names to our newer viewers, please?
So generally the rule is, and you can consult a lawyer, but usually if you have a trademark name, it's $100,000 US per name is the fine for every trademark domain you own, plus the revenue that you've made off of that domain as well, and any brand damage that they think you have done to the brand by owning it and promoting it for whatever reason.
So 100,000 plus bonuses.
Yeah, for them, not for you. And what they'll do is they'll wait till you build it to a bigger site, because then they'll take the domain and they'll get all the traffic from it, and then they'll sue you for everything you've made on it, and they'll have more losses by that time. They're not going to buy it. A lot of them won't find it when they just don't know what it is, a tiny little thing. But
Yes. Okay, Adam, what do you think of two-letter CCTLDs like CLs? That's Chile. PE. That's Peru. BZ. That's what, Belize? Is it?
yeah,
ATC. What should be asking range for them? Missing Helmuts Bell. Bang.
it's there. So obviously those are good domain names. They're good 2 letters. I think they're obviously, they have value. Some of them will have more value than others, but generally if I bought these, I would price them at a minimum of $10,000, and that would be me. 10 to 20, probably 20 minimum for all of them. I do know about your sale last week, so I would put them at a minimum 20, because if a company's going to buy a 2-letter domain name, they're going to buy it regardless. So for those, I'd put them at 20 and see what happens, and I wouldn't be in a rush.
To compare, Hitesh, Peru is much better economy than CL, than Chile, but I'm not sure about Belize.
Belize is good for land development, not so good for domains.
Yes, so in Peru you have what, 30 million? The population is 30 million.
That's a lot.
Yes, that is a lot. And if you got, just please make sure that you do not get Ks. In Spanish, K is almost not used. There are available 2-letter domain names that start with K or contain letter K. If you wish, of course, you can hold them.
The Belize population is much different at 412,000 in 2022. Okay. So.
Hi all. Hello. Okay. And thanks.
I saw that. That's funny. It's true, Bill. It's true.
I have to say that I did have a chat and did send the proof to Napros, and Hupe HHU.p sale is there. Yes, and I will be reporting those sales there.
Great.
Okay, and while we are waiting, okay, now here's a question or a comment. While the war going on, starting by Russia, is it a good practice to buy Ukraine UA domains? Just feel not right. What do you guys think?
Is Ukraine UA?
Yes. And they have .com.ua, I think, and then .ua as well. So please, and then I will give my 5 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's fine to still buy Ukrainian domain names. Hopefully the money is going to the country and the people. I don't know if it's a government-run registry, but if it is, you're supporting a government-run country. So I would still buy them. And I would ignore, obviously you can't ignore the politics. There's a lot going on right now, and I'm fully in support of the Ukrainian people and everything that they're having to go through, and it's horrific. But I don't think that should stop anyone from buying domain names. That doesn't help anybody.
So me myself, Mr. Domain Explorer, I had chances buying several really, really great Ukrainian domain names before all this mess started. I decided not to do that. I do not work with Russia nor Ukraine. Sadly, the countries are so corrupt, especially the courts, and businesses will not buy domains from you. They will go to the court and they'll get them much cheaper, much cheaper than there. So it is, I don't think it is a good business to try to do domaining in countries where they can can do something like that. There was a case in Ukraine. A local judge pushed a that's Ukrainian. Ukrainian judge gave a judgment that Google should do something. Google should return them something or close down the services in some region or something absolutely stupid and crazy. Yes, with all the respect to mess that is happening there, the juridical system, is it called? Yes, the court system is so corrupt, and it will be much cheaper.
Oh,
for
was
the
it
local
judicial?
businessman.
You were trying to
Judicial,
say?
yes.
I thought you were naming the court system in the Ukraine, so I let it go. I wasn't sure. But no, based on that, if you can have names taken away just like that, then it doesn't make sense. But it's not really based on the political climate right now for me in either
Yes.
place. I don't own any, but it is what it is.
Yes, I have myself have Moldovan two-letter Moldovan, one's ki.md and XR. Well, XR is extended reality. Everything goes in there. And yes, but that's it from that region.
Yeah, I guess. You gotta be
Okay.
careful.
Yes. Then there is a question. Then there was also interesting sale. So 8096.com, GoDaddy,
Okay.
$7,500.
What does it mean, though? That's the thing. What is 8096? Is it the name of a company, or does it actually mean something? From what I remember, Emperor 8096. It's a Lego set. It's a specific Lego set about the shuttle, but I don't know if that's why they bought it.
Okay.
Emperor Palpatine's shuttle. It's a Star Wars thing, so I don't know if that's why they bought it or not, but that's about all I can find on it. Is anything to do with that is about Lego. So
What is that? All that craziness about the numbers? Is it really the Chinese market, or just the main investors gone crazy, like with meta things?
Probably a bit of both. There's certain numbers. Even when Windows did Windows, there was no Windows 4 because it was bad luck. There was no Windows 9 because it was bad luck. There was a few that they skipped on purpose because it would have been bad luck to one country or another. So
Yes.
I mean, we're on Windows 11, or what are we on? 11 now? I don't think we'll see a 13, so we'll see. But yeah, the numbers originally were with the 4-letter buying frenzy from China that created it, and that's when everybody sold them. But now they're coming back down to earth, and people are buying them for a lot less, and they're realizing there's so many combinations that they shouldn't have gone crazy back then. There's a lot.
Okay, and that's at the moment. That is it with the questions and everything.
Do you want me to give you some? Oh, yeah,
yes,
something else?
Let's
I was going to give you some available.
Let's go. Yes.
So here's about 8, and this is for the people who are paying attention. There's 8 available names I'm going to give you now that you can register right now.
Okay,
and I
get ready.
I thought they were decent names. So marketingwithemail.com, $74 a click. Marketingwithemail.com. Get prescription online, $19 a click. Platformwebsite.com could be anything, but it's still decent, $17 a click. Studentsbankaccount.com, $12 a click. If you want to do an affiliate site, BritishTelecoms.com is available, $12 a click. I don't know, you could do like a review site of all the telecoms and maybe get something. Chef's Courses, chefs with an S, courses.com, $11 a click. Here's another good one, pilotscourse.com, singular, pilots plural, course singular.com.
That's beautiful. That's perfect.
I mean, pretty perfect. $10 a click. The
and guys, to understand, to get pilot's license, you would need to fork out 100,000 or something. If I or maybe 15, or maybe 100,000.
It's a lot.
It's in the US.
Maybe
Yes.
50 years ago, maybe when I would have tried 30 years ago, maybe it was 15. I think it's a lot more now.
Yes.
So Pilot's Course is a really great one, and it's an exact match.
That is a fantastic name.
And even though COVID is past, thevaccinations.com is available. thevaccinations.com.
Thevaccinations.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one is one I'm not sure about, vehiclesverification.com. So if you want to verify, I mean, it could be another service where if they had an accident or they didn't have an accident, you could run the license plate number and tell you everything you want on that car.
There are these apps now. There are these apps where you can put in your car reg,
Yeah.
and you would get the notifications that belts need to be done, that needs to be done. The MOT is just about, insurance has run out, and
Yeah. So I've seen it where now they're even doing them where they have an app where you can put in your license number and it will find your VIN ID and everything else, and it'll tell you how much your car is worth, and they'll send somebody to pick it up and buy it and give you a check, supposedly, in the States.
Oh.
But I saw a commercial for it yesterday. So, but I just thought vehicles verification sounds good for anything you wanted to do with that. And then I have a large list of pending deletes. We can do it now or later. It's up to you. Not large, like 8 of them as well.
okay.
But I think you may want some of these. So here's a good one that expires tomorrow. It's called ransomwareprotection.co.uk. Yeah, I did my homework. Ransomwareprotection.co.uk. What else is more popular than that at the moment?
Wow.
So that is $85 a click, expiring tomorrow. Here's a nice one for you. There's a couple I put in here for you. Websitesetup.co.uk expires on the 11th at $32 a click. And one more I put in for you. Hostedwebserver.com tomorrow. Beautiful. For $28 a click. Then we'll go back to a couple comms for a second. I like this one for an invoicing company. Sendtheinvoice.com expires on the 12th. My God. The 12th of this month, and it's $25 a click. And for those of you that are domainers, competitorkeywords.com, $10 a click. Expires on the 10th and is $25 a click. And then this next one I think you're going to like. It's financialcounselor.co.uk. On the 10th, and it's $24 a click. And I can paste these in here when I'm done. Another one that's popular because of all the conditions going on now, workoutsonline.co.uk.
Okay, yes.
On the 12th, $25 a click. And here's a pair that are in the banking industry that I found interesting. wirepayment.co.uk and wirepayments.co.uk.
So both of them together. That's good.
One expires on the 9th, one expires on the 12th, and they're both around $24 or $25 a click. So they're good banking ones. Here's one that's popular in the States, pestremovers.co.uk. It's on the 12th. And then we always talk about the law cases and stuff. So here's one. On the 12th is pretrials.com. Pretrials.com. Pretrials are huge here in the States and in Canada.
That's a great name.
And then one that I left up here because I've sold a similar name, sportsbettip.com on the 12th. $10 a click, and I sold sportsbettingtip.com a while ago for good money. So Sports Bet Tip is a good short form for it. Expires on the 12th.
And those who do not understand, just go on Facebook and look for gambler groups with bet tips. They're huge.
I'll put these in the private chat, and you can decide.
Yes, and I'll
put
them.
To do with them.
Absolutely.
There's a couple more that I missed because it limits the chat. There you go. So those are the ones that are, and the first is the date that they drop. The second number is the CPC under the pending delete. On the available, it's just the date, the amount.
It's I don't the need first it. List, and
that just shows the cost per click on the first list.
Okay,
I thought it was
going through.
Pilot's course is definitely the best of the bunch in that list.
Pilot's course.
Yeah, pilot's course.
And then there was chef's
courses, but I think most chefs will look for one course. So I think chef's course would be better.
Well, I understand that recipe websites get more traffic than adult industry.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I was in 2004. I was part of the group that I acquired recipe.com and sold it. So it's been years now since I was with iRead. I can tell you we paid $400,000 for recipe.com, and now it's probably worth, I don't know, quite a few, 4 or 5 million minimum, probably 20
Absolutely.
million, who knows. So it's all about content, and everyone looks for recipes. So I think I paid $350 or $400K for it, and I found the buyer and closed the deal in 2004. So that was a good one.
Yes, and looking from that perspective, chef's courses.
Yeah,
Perfect.
well, it's good. And then also, when you see this list, don't be shy to go. This is just what was dropping, so I looked at them. But don't be shy to go and look for pilots courses, pilot course, chef courses, chef course. Look for the singulars, look for the plurals. You can look for get prescriptions online instead of just get prescription. There's a lot you can do. But the top one by CPC is definitely marketing with email. I don't know why, but it's $74 a click, and it's pretty descriptive. So you want to send marketing emails, I guess. But
and which one is the favorite from this list? Pilot's course?
If I was going to register one, yeah, I'd go with Pilot's course because it has the most resale value to me. And it's specific to a product. I mean, there's a course, there's one course, it's good. But I really like in the pending deletes, I like a lot of them. I like the ransomware protection. I like wire payments, probably more than wire payment. And pest removers is good, and so is pre-trials. These are all pretty good. But Send the Invoice is a great brand. I mean, who's going to forget that?
Absolutely.
So depends what you're looking. But Financial Counselor is also good. So who knows? There's all kinds of them. We just have to make sure that that's how you spell it. You may spell it with an OUR at the end in the UK because it's the same as Canada. I'm not sure. That's the only one that's different. And Daisy wants to say hello. Get back here. You could say hello.
Daisy.
I'm stuck with her today because we have construction going on in the house.
Beautiful.
And my wife is out, so she's stuck with me in the office the whole day. So those are some good names.
And how would you suggest to catch them?
I'm not an expert on the co.uk ones.
Okay. Yes.
So I'll let you talk about the co.uk's. For the other one, for the com ones, I always look at who is it? Name drop. I think that's it.
Name drop.
Let me check if that's what it is. It's probably not name drop, even though I registered drop catch. Sorry, drop catch. Drop catch and save for the comms. Those are the two best. So for those are the two.
Okay. I would say that so easy to remember. I have heard that this service is good. So once you go to Icon Domains, this is number one UK domaining forum. By the way, we have secured, Adam.
Yeah.
Header banner for the next 6 months.
Yeah, I saw that.
And if the owner of Icon Domains is watching, thank you for giving us this privilege. Of course, we paid for it, and so we say Flip is here. Of course, Colin. By the way, Colin will be back on live streams after 21st, something like that. So in the second part of this month, and then in the very bottom, you would see this domain. So dropped.uk. Go there and check out this service. This service should be good. At least that is what Colin told me. Okay, so that's the one where you would suggest getting the .co.uk's? I have not tried it. But dropped.uk. If I'm not wrong, then Colin from flip.uk, he advised me to check it out and actually to contact the guy. Yes, with the exhibition and everything. Okay. Are there any? That's probably the best one. Are there any restrictions to .co.uk, or can anybody buy them? No, anybody can buy them. Okay. And then Flip had some in the very beginning. Okay, no, nothing. I can't see. Yes, so probably that was that one. So no restrictions on. Sadly, or is it good?
It depends. If you're an investor, it's good. If you are an investor who's local, it's not so good. I mean, I guess it's good because you can get buyers outside of the UK. I don't know how likely it is, but probably. I don't know how many companies will buy it, but probably some, quite a few. I would think that's more popular though in the UK to buy them. Investors will buy them outside of the UK, but still a great CCTLD.
Yes. Well, Ireland is protected.
Yeah.
To buy IE names, you need to have a local presence. Okay, here is Mark. Hello, Mark. Okay.
Mark, the plural domain should be purchased only if it makes sense. Not always. Sometimes if you're running a company though and it's a defensive registration, that's okay too. So if you had Canoe as your company and you wanted Canoes, just to make sure you got the typo and get the traffic from it, that would make sense. But otherwise it's just only when it makes sense. And a lot of times I can tell you when it doesn't. Like, let's go with Orlando Criminal Lawyer. Easy to have one criminal lawyer. You need a whole firm if they're going to take Orlando Criminal Lawyers with an S. So those are harder to sell in plural. So it only makes sense. And then some people only look for something. When they Google, they look for example, a funeral or a piano. You only look for one piano. You don't look for many pianos. But if you own a store, you want to be Orlando Pianos. But if you're looking for it, you're going to look for Orlando Piano because you're not looking for multiples. So it depends on which end of that marketing e-commerce spectrum you're on.
Adam, what do you think of the business model when a guy is registering brandable domain names, buying lots of them, and selling them for $149 or $199?
Buying them at $10?
So I think there was at Name Pros. Was it at Name Pros? I saw recently. Name Pros. I saw this ad. So let us see. Maybe I am wrong. If I'm wrong, then, and of course we have no affiliation with Name Pros nor any of these brands. So here is a super premium. So he took a header as well. And this spot is expensive as hell. And when we go to Namers, okay, yeah, he paid the money. Let us give him some additional advertising, of course. So he sells for $145 only. So we can see Skylies $145, Monitot, Jubiliano, Zipsy.
So this is like a cheaper brand bucket, basically.
Yes. Or has he created is this maybe this is a marketplace?
Well, go back for a second. There was a 4-letter one there that was GAVZ or something. That was is that $149?
VGIs.
GAVZ I saw on the right-hand side. Keep going.
Oh.
I saw a 4-letter one, and that would be a good steal if somebody's watching. There.
Okay.
GAVZ.
Yes.
Oh, $245. Yes. He's marked that one at.
Okay. And what do you say? Is it still a good price?
Probably close to the right price. Maybe a little high, but not much, based on what 4 letters are going for. You see, you scroll through that, and I'm used to spotting names on a list.
Get break.
But there's some that are on here that are definitely worth $145.
Yes. Look, Meta.
Here's another one for $245. VGYS.
Yes, VGYS. Yes.
You really have to decide if you have a
ZYSU.
Sold.
Okay, that's sold. Unpronounceable. Okay, so it looks like actually a marketplace. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a marketplace where he's done some work to get logos created, or has a plugin for WordPress that makes logos. Okay. I mean, it's a nice looking site. Okay. Senior child. That's interesting. $145. So thinking about that one, that may be a good one.
Senior child. Okay. So okay.
Remote wood. That'd be interesting. It's a new dating system.
Yes. Lots of snails. Vaccine 24. Okay.
Even Advocate Place isn't bad.
Yes.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yes.
Activan, that's a good brandable. $145.
Yes. There are lots of good brandables.
So what I would do is, I'd go look at this site later, find companies that match up with some of the names that are here, and then contact them directly and sell it for $850 or something and sell them that way. Because there's some that are going to match up with companies, some that won't.
Okay. Yes.
Like Bag Hacks is a good name too.
Yep. Good names.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Now it makes sense. In the beginning, when I first visited it, I thought, oh, it is okay. We are a team of 100 plus professionals committed to.
I don't know what those logos have to do with anything because I don't think that they've sold those logos. Clearly, they didn't sell FedEx their name,
Yes.
but still.
Okay, and secured by GoDaddy. So probably they all go to GoDaddy, do they? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Well, hold on a second. It's available.
It's in pounds. No. That's so they've created a directory, and then you would check out at GoDaddy.
Yeah, it's a premium domain name, so they've listed it as a premium in their portfolio.
Yes. So here you go, four letter.
Yeah, so all of his 4 letters are 245. So he's trying to set a market price.
Okay, here you go. Yes.
Yeah, and it's a nice little marketplace.
And prayed. Oh. That's interesting. But great name, Namers. Namers.com. That's a great one. Great domain.
Yeah. Well, it's short, but I'm not sure anybody on the street would know what it meant. What's Namers? I don't know what you think of with Namers first. Baby names? I don't know. What would people on the street think?
Okay. Oh, here's a comment. Hitesh. Namers is an Indian company owned by influencer Sandeep. Okay. Did not it.
Well, he's done a good job with the site.
Yes, I definitely know that the header banner is not cheap there.
Yeah.
This is at Namepros. Well, Namepros is fantastic, awesome, amazing place. Okay. Yes, lots of Indians are into domaining.
Yep.
Have you discovered something interesting and new during this week?
Trying to think. I've discovered that I don't like to work in my office while people are doing construction and building bathrooms. So redoing bathrooms. I've discovered that. It's only Tuesday, so what have I learned in the last week? No, I think it's been a pretty good week. I don't think I've discovered anything new yet this week, but I'll try to pick something up for next week.
If something will happen, of course. What do you think of this name? Crypto Web 3.xyz.
Yeah, no good. No good.
We really hope that this is a joke.
Yeah.
It should be a joke. Here you go. Ojipa.com.
Yeah, that's a pronounceable name. And if we're looking at the site we just were on, it'd be worth at least $149.
Yes, and that site is gonna kill Brand Bucket. Good.
Well, it'd be also interesting because probably the expansion of him will be he'll start accepting customers' names and charge them $50 or something to sell them through. And then he doesn't even have to carry the inventory.
Yes, all the e-commerce platform is actually, all the back end is done by GoDaddy. Isn't that beautiful?
I mean, this could be Oyipa or Ojipa, depending on where you're from. And if it means anything in Hindi or another language, it's even better. But it's pronounceable.
Yes. How's your son doing? Domaining?
Not so good. He seems to be a little bit stalled. Somebody else asked me that. So I gave him the first 3 videos, and then last night I was at dinner, and I said, so how many, have you watched the videos? And he said, yes. I didn't really believe him because I think he got through 1.5. And then I said, well, how many videos are in the folder? And he said 3. I said, check again. There's 6 because I did the second master class. I said, so when was the last time you checked? So I think his instinct to want more money to fulfill his dreams don't match his level of effort to get there yet. So,
well, from the other side, smart people are a bit lazy.
Yeah, well, he always tries to find the easiest way. to something, but there's no easy way to pick up, I don't know, 20 years of knowledge without at least watching the course and at least learning from the course. But and then he's asking me some questions, and then he stopped with the questions. So I'll get on him tonight at dinner and see if he's gonna jump back on. And if I ask him questions about the videos, he better know it. So we'll see. Otherwise, he's not taking it seriously.
Have you considered asking or offering him to work with you, maybe on Saturdays or Sundays, something like that? One day a week together.
Yes, but I don't think I want to work every day during the week and night and weekends too. But I mean, I've showed him domains. I've showed him years ago how to list on Sado and how to list on some of the marketplaces. The interest just wasn't there. It's there when I make a sale and he sees the money come in and thinks, I'm going to be engaged in the next 6 months and I could probably use extra money to actually live nicely. That's the financial is what's driving him, nothing else. So until he falls in love with the industry like I did, there's no passion there. It's not going to be good. So
Finding an easy way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is called smart work, but you still got to do the work. Even your smart work still has work in it. But yes.
Work becomes easy, Hitesh, once you've done it 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Sadly.
It becomes the same as sleeping, where you just wake up, you know what to do, same routine, and you go through it all. But no, he's going to have to get used to it, and I'm going to have to ride him a little bit. I don't know why I have to ride him to get interested in a business that makes a lot of money, but I'll have to bug him a little bit. And someday he's going to look back at these videos when I'm gone, and he's going to remember that I had to work him a little bit. So who knows?
Have you given him some domains to try to sell?
No, I'm not sure. That takes even more work than learning the industry. I mean, it's hard to do outbound marketing, but the first thing you have to do is understand what you're buying and how to buy and how to look at a list of like 1,000 or 500 or even 50 names and know which ones are the best names. That's one of the hardest things, is that starting point. Then if you get that, then if you've got the right inventory, you can sell. But if you've got crap inventory, you're not going to sell anything, which is what 98% of domainers have, is just garbage inventory.
But you have to start with garbage inventory just to understand what is garbage.
So you do if you're starting from scratch with nobody helping you and nobody around you with knowledge. He doesn't have to. He has the benefit of bouncing them off of me, as well as most domainers do on this show. They can bounce them off of us before they waste money. And I get people asking me every day, is this worth it? Like messages every day from people, and some of them I just say no. I don't. They know if I just say no, forget about it, or I'll say the third one only. That's it. So you have to. That's why we go to school. I mean, if we assumed we could go out and do anything without learning how to read or math, we'd be in the same boat. We have to learn at least basic skills before you can think you can run a business.
What is the best way to approach a domainer asking for advice?
It really depends on the domainer. It depends on if you're just asking for advice and time. It's a little bit harder with a lot of people, because time is the one thing that a lot of people don't have. But I mean, obviously, just approach them cordially and politely and ask questions, as long as it doesn't lead to and I get this too, where it gets into nonstop questions and essays, and it turns in from one question to, can you spend an hour with me, to 2 hours, can you spend a weekend with me, kind of thing. I mean, we don't have that kind of time. So they have to understand that successful domainers are more busy than they are. And you have to respect the time and just basically get what you can, take what you can, try to soak up the knowledge. But absolutely, and I'm not pushing my course, but take anybody's course who's got more knowledge than you, and learn something to save yourself some steps in the process, some headaches, because you'll definitely go through headaches if you don't.
Talking about CCTLDs, apart from .ca and Iceland, of course, that is our country.
Yeah, Iceland and Greenland, we own them.
Oh God, well, yes. So, what about what other CCTLDs you are interested in?
So I'd have to look at my portfolio. I have a lot of varied ones, and some of them are expensive. Some of them are like, I don't know, $40 a month, and some of them I think were like even much higher. Yeah, a year, sorry.
Yes.
And some of them were $20 a month almost. Some of them were like a couple $100. So I have to look at what I
Okay.
have. I obviously think that the countries with the biggest populations, obviously Europe is strong, Germany is strong. If I was investing in them now, I'd be investing in Germany, I'd be investing in the UK, I'd be investing in countries like Australia, countries that have a good growth rate. Even I know you've got Portugal if people are interested, but countries like France, all the European ones like Belgium and the Netherlands is very strong. They've been very strong for a while. They're big into the internet. I guess they can use smartphones while they're riding bicycles because a lot of them bicycle. It's so nice. But there's lots of countries that have a lot more enthusiasm about their CCTLDs than, let's say, the US. So.
Yes, US is a bit different, of course.
So here's your
People from the
guideline.
States, yes.
I'll give you a pretty good guideline. If you see commercials in that country while you're visiting or while you live there and they're advertising the CCTLD in a commercial or something, then it's a good CCTLD. But if you go to that country and you don't hear or see anything, then forget about it because the country hasn't adopted it yet.
Are there any countries that haven't adopted their own CCTLDs?
Well, you just don't see them as widespread used. Like when I was in New York, I didn't see .us, that's for sure.
Well,
I probably would have seen a CA faster than I would have seen a .us, but I don't know how.
But then
you look at the registrations too.
Yes, but then the com is there. Why?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have countries like Colombia that sold out for money and ended up selling most of their COs to everybody else. So although it looks popular, maybe they are using it now in their country, but the first thing that they tried to do was to make profit off of it and sell it outside of their country. So
yes. So this is interesting. So ME is what was it? Not Macedonia. Something like that.
I know what it is.
ME Montenegro.
Yeah, I think that's
Montenegro.
it.
Yes, former Yugoslavia. Should be Montenegro. What do you think of .mes?
So I like them when you put a verb around them, like I don't know. I mean, even I was gonna think push me, but I mean anything with has. I mean,
no.
Name.
Okay.
Me, push me. I don't know what else.
That's
there's lots of adult names around there, but
here we go.
No, I mean there's anything with a verb, just like .info. If you have something interesting that people would Google information for, like cancer.info or gout.info or mesothelioma.info, that stuff makes sense. With me, it would be like kiss me, marry me, stuff like that would be very good, very easy, very brandable. Date me would be a great dating site. I don't know what else to say. The other ones I can't say on a live stream. Oh, bill me would be a good one. What about that? Bill me? I mean, just any good verb. Walk me would be great for like dog walkers. I mean, there's tons of stuff. You could do care for me. You could do all kinds of different things. You just have to be inventive and think things through. I don't know. There's lots of them, but mostly verbs would be better with that.
Have you got any .mes?
No. No, I don't.
Would you invest in them?
Yeah, I know if I had some decent ones, if there were some good, I had a chance obviously a long time ago, but I didn't bother with it.
Here is the answer. So Web3 highly trending. Hindi is saying.
I believe it, but not in XYZ or Z, depending where you're from.
Yes, this is just our opinion, Hindi, but once you see the reported XYZ sales, they don't look real.
Well, and they're non-fungible tokens and all that cool stuff. I mean, they're basically digital certificates of authenticity, which is like what a domain name is anyway without the certificate. So, I don't know. I just don't. I'll wait for Web 4 and see what happens.
Or Web 5.
Yeah.
So Russians are, have you heard, Russians are considering on March 11th to switch off their global internet, to use only their, to become North Korea, where the top guys would have only the normal internet and the rest would be.
So I think I think a lot of countries are going to do that eventually. Even the U.S. said they were going to switch to their own, or China said they were going to go to their own. And everyone's been saying that. I think that when you're trying to limit the information that you want your people to have, yes, shut it off. But there's still going to be ways through satellite phones and through other things where people are going to be able to obtain correct information. You could try to put a little net over all the information, keep it inside, but it's still going to leak out.
Yes. So, and once again, so after Web3 high trending and the central Web3.
Yeah, not really. Not going to be doing much with it yet. I'll wait and see a little longer.
So, Hindi, when something is decentralized, they usually use two letters, D, DE, like DeFi, decentralized finance. And then you might, but still, Web3. Let us say it was web3.com. Let us go to the very, very, very basic. What would you say about that? About that one? Web3.com.
So I would say it's a good domain name. I would say, I don't know. Did Web 2 ever take off? I mean, it's probably a brandable, but Web 1, Web 2, I mean, it's three letters and a number. So I don't know how you would really evaluate it properly. But now that Web 3 is a technology that a bunch of people are going to buy into, it obviously has value.
It's good for name servers or some technical. I use owl1, so a bird, owl1.com. Yes, I use it for name servers. Some. Yes. Some people are reporting, okay? Fakes. .finance domains. Okay. What are the, how are those registrars doing actually? Oh, I've lost your sound.
No, I'm here. Can you ask that again?
Yes. So there are many. Okay. Let us just wait for Adam to be back. Yes. No problem. Okay.
All good.
And the sound. Yes, of course. What do you say about this one? So there are fake sales in regards to .finance domains. Have you noticed any?
No. I haven't bought any .finances and I haven't been reading about them, so I'll say no to that.
So how are all these registrars doing who have their own extensions? Have you been following them?
Not all of them. I mean, I know some of the bigger ones that have multiple ones have been doing well. People still buy them. There's sales on them all the time. I think .xyz was like 50 cents for a name. It saved for a while. Some of them are giving away free names to get saturation. When you bought a .com at Save or somewhere else, they gave you a different one that was closed.
Yes.
In order to try to get the market to start using them. So I don't know. I still don't pay them a whole lot of attention. I have enough in the really good ones, the GTLDs and CCTLDs. But if I bought something like sports.shop or something and I wanted to use it to sell sports merchandise, it would make sense, but I'd still much rather have sportshop.com.
Are there any auctions you are following all the time? Like
today, I'll say no. It changes week to week. This has been a busy week for me, but there will be some based on the names that we talked about that are dropping in the next few days that I will be certainly following, but no specific Sato or anything like that that I'm following.
So you would find them in the beginning. You would find them with your tool.
Oh, yeah, I'd find them.
Domain tool.
Yeah, I would use that, or I'd just go through the list. I import them all into the tool, and I just go through them and see what I can find. It doesn't take long, but I like finding names. It's like finding gold. When I found some of the ones that I found today, I was like, oh, crap, they expire today, so I better give them to you or somebody who's in the UK who could register them right away, because I knew we weren't going to get to them before the live show. So, no, I found some really good .cas. Oh, that was another one that I wanted to talk about. I have, what is it? I think it's Web Designers. I forget what I have. Here it is.
Oh, come on, webdesigners.ca.
So I have webdesigners.ca, but somebody, a friend of mine pointed out that logodesigners.ca dropped, and I got it for like $8. So I was like, okay, this is as good as Web Designers for me, pretty much. It's like logo. Before you need a website, you need a logo. And she asked me, how much are you going to sell it for? And she was like, what, 3,500, 4,000? I said, no, I'm putting this at 99,000. To me, it's higher, as good quality as something like Web Designers, and it's a whole business. So somebody's going to buy it eventually, maybe not for 99,000, but I wasn't going to price it at about 34 or 44, where I put most names I just pick up on a drop for $8. This one was a really good one, and it was. I'm just glad it was available. There were some other good ones like electric wheelchair, I think, was available, but Logo Designers is like it's an online. When you get an online business like that, you just want to lock it up as fast as you can. It stayed available for a few days because I was behind, and I was like, wow, text me directly next time you see this, because something like that should not sit around. And it was spelled perfectly. I had to check it 2-3 times, but it was bang on.
And what else? What else Canadian names have you bought recently? Could we go through your list? Maybe the last 20 names, 10, 20 names.
Well, I'm gonna have to log in.
It would be interesting.
Let's talk about something while I log in and take a look. I will gladly tell you I have to use my Google Authenticator to log in.
Still Google
no,
one.
actually, I could even do it on Dan, just because I've added some names on there, and I can sort by date, so I'll be able to tell you that too.
Oh, do you remember I told you to use Mikey? The Mikey is fantastic. So Mikey they got acquired by some company, and they immediately announced that they are shutting down their operations.
What was it called?
Their services. Mikey, M-Y-K-I.
Okay, I'll check it out afterwards.
Mike Yankee Kilo India.
Got it. Okay, so let me see what I bought. The last domains that I bought. Of course, a Canadian one, menshockey.ca.
Men's hockey, okay.
Professional.
Who is the buyer? Who is the buyer for men's hockey?
Oh, it could be anybody. There's men's hockey leagues all over the place. There's what we call fantasy leagues that you guys know, sports fantasy. Could be anything. I bought professionalwebsites.com, and then because I liked it in .com, I registered in the .ca. Then I got something, I don't know, I was just in the mood talking about engagements, and I found Princess Diamonds, and Princess Diamonds were available.
Okay, that's nice.
Managedhost.ca, CanadianVisas.ca. I think they're going to be really popular right now.
Wow.
Yogamaster.ca, replacement car keys, because people lose them all the time.
Absolutely.
IT hosting, I thought was good.
Yes.
Home repairman. Residential houses. Here's one. I like model planes. I picked that up.
Model planes.
Electric wheelchair. What else? Get tested. Just thought that was cool.
Gettested.ca.
That one's a CA, yeah.
Okay. That can apply to anything.
Oh yeah. And I'm trying to see which. I mean, there's just so many that you could basically find them all day and all night. And then there was repairsmalldents.com.
Okay. Yes.
Dog anxiety treatment.
Wait. What?
Dog anxiety treatment.
And did you buy
cat anxiety?
And did you buy cat anxiety?
Okay, hold on. No, I didn't get that because I have a dog, but I do have treats that they give now, and they've got like hemp in them.
Adam.
Hold on. They have hemp in them, and they're supposed to relax the dog when they get anxiety because I go out. So you can see the little Canadian flag on this side. I don't drug her. I just make sure she just has a little bit of a little relax. It says up here hemp. You can see it's hemp up here at the top somewhere.
Oh, even hemp, yeah.
But she gets like just a little corner, and she's like, "Hey, man, that's good." No, she doesn't do that. I don't know what she does, but I don't think it works. I think it's just to make me feel better, but I just give her a little piece. I took her the other day. I had to take her to the bank because I had to get some money at the bank, and the construction workers here. So I'm walking into the bank with her, and I'm holding her, and my wife says, "What did they say?" I said, "That's what you're worried about. I'm more aggravated. I had to leave the house after a whole day of meetings and banging upside my head, and I had to carry the dog to the bank to get money to pay the contractors." So, yeah, that was fun. Anyway, okay. I think we have a real question now.
Here it is from Mark. Yes. What are bad, good, and great for these numbers from Keywords Anywhere?
So, okay, so what are you doing with this domain name? Is this domain to build a content site, or is it a domain to buy AdWords? Because if it's a domain to buy AdWords, it's going to cost you $5 a click, but there's almost no competition. If you're just building a site because you want to get traffic, this one could have traffic, but I need to see the keywords, because sometimes if you put in like blue casket, I'm just making this up, and blue caskets, it'll have the same volume, but they're not really the same volume when you look into Google. So really need to see the keywords to see if they make any sense. It's got good search volume. Those are great numbers if you're looking to buy a domain name and sell it. There you go.
Very good. Yes, and competition is, there is competition as well.
Yeah, a little bit of competition, but
if
you have the domain with the keywords, then you've got the chance to build the organic traffic right away, and you don't need to worry so much about the competition or the CPC unless you're buying ads or putting up AdSense, one or the other.
Okay, and interesting. Are there places where we can see Canadian auctions, .ca auctions?
So in order for a CA to go to auction, it has to have like a com or anything else. It has to have multiple bids. There's only 2 or 3 sites that people go to for Canadian domains that they back order, they go to auction. There's 3 that I can think of. One is called cybername.com, SIBER name.com. The other one is called myid.ca, and the last one is Bare Metal, BAREMETAL. And you can back order CA names there if you're Canadian or if you've got a company in Canada. Otherwise, no point.
Do you use those? Do you use that service?
I used to a long time ago. Yeah, I have used them all previously. And I haven't used them in a long time because, well, I have plenty of CA names and I've got all the good ones. So unless I see something that drops and all of them missed logo designers and nobody back ordered it, it's a gimme. So I find a lot less people are paying attention to the back orders. I still find that even in .com and .co and .uk, there's less buyers and there's less people that know how to sort through a list properly, because way too many things like we talked about today should absolutely not be missed. There's no reason why Pilot's course should be available. There's no reason why a lot of this stuff should be available. And even with the drops, when I do a list of drops, I find that even when I say them on a show, there's not as many people that are looking for the names that I find as other people, and only the people from this video are going to know about these ones because I'm not going to post them. So you'll find that people just don't follow up. People love success, but a lot of them don't know how to go through a list and do it properly.
Absolutely. What do you, Adam, talking about Russia a bit, what do you think of Namecheap decision?
So I did see it.
And maybe you can explain that decision to all the viewers, to those who are not informed of it.
Yeah, let me go look at the post, because somebody posted it in the art of the name, and I looked at it and I thought it's interesting, but okay, so Russia's service termination. Unfortunately, due to the Russian regime's war and human rights violations, Ukraine will no longer be providing services to users registered in Russia. And then it goes on to say, well, we sympathize that this war may not affect your views or opinions. Yes. The fact is, blah, blah, blah.
And as I understand, they are giving 1 month extension for all Russians to take out their domains from NamePros. No, not from NamePros, from a Namecheap.
Namecheap. So personally, I think that that's my own personal opinion doesn't count for much. But I think that I cannot hold people responsible in a country for what the dictator has done. I mean, not all Russians believe in this war, and you just can't do a blanket statement against a type of people. I don't think that's correct. But I don't think they should. I mean, they have to do whatever. Everybody else is stopping to sell and operate inside of Russia. But I don't think...
there are 2 things. I understand sanctions, because Russians the whole country is responsible. Look, it doesn't matter. In this case, the whole country is responsible, and now the whole country will pay. But once you are putting sanctions by companies, there are 2 things. One is stopping providing some services or stopping buying some services, But then another thing is when you have a contract with a person who has bought a name, domain name from you, and is holding there, and then either to arrest those names or to hold them or some make them leave. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Are you saying that it's bad what they did?
No, it is. I think that's horrible. Yes, there is one
Yeah.
thing. So I think PayPal is stopping their services. Yes, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. You were providing those services. Please allow people to withdraw their money
Hmm.
and then hold your services. You don't provide your services. That's fine. Nothing is bad there. But then, what Coinbase did? I think was it Coinbase? They arrested all the cryptos of Russians.
Hmm. They locked them up, didn't they?
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Well, yeah, unless they're involved in all the decisions, and it's hard to separate between politics and e-commerce. So I'm just going to say that I don't agree with what Namecheap
Yes,
did, because I don't believe all the Russian domainers are the ones who started this conflict. And I feel bad that all their names are being frozen, but it's what every country is doing. They're cutting off everything to that country, which makes those people angry. They can't watch Netflix. They can't listen to iTunes. All their services are taken away.
that's
Namecheap
fine.
is the first one that's done it as a
Yeah.
domain provider, but
Yes.
I don't think it's. I don't agree. It only affects some people that may. We don't know what their opinion
Yes.
is on the war.
Well. Stopping services. I do understand stopping services, and I did go through all my subscriptions, and I was very careful, and I stopped buying Russian services absolutely, and that's. But then, from the Namecheap perspective, and I love them. I love them. I absolutely love them. And HostMaria is there as well at Namecheap.
I think they're going to have people that are going to be thrilled and support them more, and they're going to have a lot of people that are angry and will pull out of them.
That is some decision.
That happens every time you make a business decision. Some people are going to be really angry, and some people are going to be really happy. And they better hope that more people are happy than angry.
Can we talk about what happened to the GoDaddy and the elephant?
Oh, so
What?
when that
Yes.
happened with Bob,
So
when
so
he,
so maybe you could give the longer story.
yeah, I mean, I can tell you
Thank you.
that when Bob shot the elephant, it didn't really have a negative.
It could make a nice song.
I mean, that's what it was. He shot the elephant, and he had a
Yes.
picture beside it, and it didn't hurt GoDaddy sales at all. It actually just gave him free publicity, which is what happened. And I remember Bob once told me that positive and negative publicity are both publicity, and I'm sure it helped the company. I mean, you lost a lot of the PETA people, and a lot of people. Listen, I love elephants, but I wasn't going to go to the trouble of moving all my domains away. I mean, I've sold elephant.com. I bought elephants. I mean, I love elephants. I love all animals, and eventually I did move away from GoDaddy, but his personal habits are his personal habits. I don't know what people do outside the office. Nobody knows what you or I do outside the office. So we can only go
Absolutely.
by what we see. And I can tell you that GoDaddy in general, from what I saw, sales increased, and it just increased awareness about, oh, what does this guy do? He does domains. What does he do? And at that time, there weren't as many choices as there are now as well. So business went up. It didn't hurt business.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, pen problems for Russians, as many credit cards will not. Yes, absolutely.
But again, the people of Russia are the ones that are starving and doing without food. Well, he's sitting in his palace, staying away from people and worrying about catching COVID at the end of the table. So I'm
Adam,
not sure the right
Adam,
people.
Adam, it
Yeah.
is. I was thinking exactly the same as you, and then at some point, I got to the other side when I woke up one morning and understood it is country's responsibility. It is not just one person. It is the same as Germans. Germans are all responsible for Hitler. All. And even
You,
though Hitler was Austrian, so
but what
all
about the ones
Germans,
born after Hitler?
even then, they have to apologize. Even then. Even then. Even then. That is the reality. Yes, that is their president. It is their decision to leave him there.
Yeah.
They've elected him. They've kept him there for many, 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 many years. Now it is responsibility of all of the whole country.
I just feel bad for what the Ukrainians are going through right now.
Ukrainians, absolute madness. Yes.
I mean, listen, saying goodbye to your husband who's going to stay in, and you take the children, and the trains are crowded, and it's horrible. It's hard to watch.
Yes. Okay. Yes. No, they're not. Okay. Or no, it is not. Okay. Some things are not. Some things are yes. What can we say?
Yeah.
Okay. There shouldn't be things like that, of course, in this century, but they do happen. How do you watch news? You kind of watch news all the time. That's last week I found myself into the position where I stopped watching news and listening to news. I was not able to work at all.
Yeah, it can take over your mind and make it hard to think, knowing what's going on in the world. But this is the one that we're shown about. I think it's happening in other countries, and we're just not showing it in the front stage like we are with this one. I don't know. It's very hard. You can't let it consume you. You have to learn to compartmentalize. But it's very hard in the real world. That you think something like this wouldn't happen in 2022. So.
Let me put up on the screen. I will put up a comment. That is a spam bot, YouTube spam bot. And what do you think of these? This is not a domain name, or maybe it is. God knows. These are spam bots. These are spam bots. They go all. They don't care which channel is it, which live stream is it. They can't care less. So bots are bots are bots. Have you ever considered using bots as the channel of advertising?
No.
Selling domain names?
No.
Any publicity? Any publicity is good publicity.
You'd think. I mean, you may get some traffic to the domain name, but I don't think you're going to sell a domain name that way. I mean, SMS messaging is something different. You can use SMS messaging if you wanted to reach people, but even that I find too invasive. I wouldn't like when people message me on my phone about something. I get spam all the time. So no, I wouldn't try to sell a domain name through a bot.
Yes.
Some things need a personal touch.
Yes. Whoever is watching, please be careful with messaging. Sending unsolicited messages, that is punishable by the law. At least in the UK. I don't know how. It should be the same in the USA and in Canada.
It is.
And for this reason, you don't get these spam messages, SMSs.
Oh, I get lots of spam messages.
That many.
Oh, no, I think we do. I think we just, companies don't care. They change their domain or whatever it is, or their phone numbers. Now they get local phone numbers that almost match your cell phone number, and they send them to you that are just a couple numbers off of yours. And you think, oh, it must be a local call, same area code, first three numbers, and it's going to be spam. So they're getting smarter and sneakier, and I don't think they care about laws.
Okay, enough politics, of course. Yes. Well, Bill, from the other side, this is not politics. This is not politics. Politics, that's something else. Yes. So spammers. Okay, Adam. Oh, 1 hour, 18 minutes.
Don't forget about ransomware protection and some of these other names that are dropping.
Ransomware protection.
Tomorrow.
Last week, I met Malwarebytes. Company.
Oh yeah.
And they are into ransomware protection.
Yeah. Sell it to them.
I even got their. Oh, here you go.
You got the card.
Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes. Yes.
That's the proof.
Absolutely.
I use their software. I like their software. They have everything from driver updates to. I use it. It's good.
And they've got solutions for servers as well. I went to the data center world, and they were there with their stand. I was quite surprised to see them there. Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I've been using it for virus scans, malware, driver updates, things like that. Speed up your PC, that kind of stuff.
Thanks, Malwarebytes. That is a fantastic service. That's a fantastic company, an old one. Okay, thank you. Maybe some last words for everybody till we see you back again next week.
All I can say is go over the domains that we mentioned today and make sure you get yourself one of them. There's a lot of good names, and every day there's good names in the list. So anybody that asks if it's too late to get into the domain industry, the answer is no. Every day I can find some really great names like this. So pay attention, grab the names, and good luck to whoever gets them. Let us know if you get any.
And then the next Monday looks fine for you, yes?
Yeah.
How is the next Monday?
It's good.
It is fine for me. I do apologize about yesterday. I had
That's
a
no big deal.
very long. Came back home after the midnight. Yes.
No big deal. All good.
And those who are watching, yes, please subscribe. As they say in YouTube, I try to have a chat with Adam, as I think he is one of the most knowledgeable domainers and open domainers in the world. So we are really blessed that he comes. Adam comes, shares his opinion, answers the questions, and allows you to learn from his experience to become more efficient domainer. And if you do subscribe, or you can go to HostMaria's Discord channel. I post always links there. That upcoming live stream will be then and then. Just find the ways that you don't miss these live streams. And live streams give you the question, give you the opportunity to ask your question, and then just sit there and wait till you get your answer. Hey, Joe. Yes.
I think I'm just happy you noticed that I was wearing a nice pressed shirt. I think that's really nice.
It looks really good. Okay, and thank you everybody, and of course have the most productive week, and do not get
somebody got marketing with email already. Good for you.
Oh, bangs.
Good for you.
That is a very interesting domain name.
$74
yes,
a click. So
yes,
it is a site or something, a business.
Marketing with email. Yes, and there are many products you could advertise there.
It's a good one. I mean, don't think Aweber wouldn't want it or somebody else. I mean, it's a good domain name.
Adam, if somebody is watching us for the first time, the best way to find you?
The best way is to go to facebook.com and / the art of the name. The Art of the Name. That's the Facebook group that we run, the private group. Also, you can email me at adam.dicker@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me at 416-884-0535. It's really me, and I answer it all the time.
And do remember, August 22nd to 24th in London, there will be London Domain Summit. It is the agenda is very simple. To get together, domainers, UK domainers, international domainers, eat, drink, network. Talk, do business. There are first 100 early bird tickets for £149. It includes very hefty Eventbrite's fees, and it will give you access during all 3 days. It is simple. Find one contact, find one deal, get your 10-15% commission, and you'll get all your money back tenfold. Isn't that?
Yep.
Thank you, and all the best. And thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Have a great week.
And the same to you. Bye.